You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, sweetie.
Morning, guys.
He's not in a coma. They don't know what to call it.
Hi, I'm Rami Emmanuel Mori-Yamin. I know it's a lot to digest. And I'm from Medium Rare. We're here today with James Wan, the director, and Leigh
Whannell?
Whannell. I was practicing it, but I saw two N's and two L's, so I knew I was going to be in trouble. So tell me about your film.
Insidious is basically Leigh Whannell and my take on the haunted house genre. Like what we did with Saw, which was taking the serial killer subgenre and basically twisted it around. That's what we wanted to do as well with the haunted house films, and put our own spin to it. So even though the movie plays out, you know, from start to finish, like a typical haunted house film with, you know, hauntings and ghosts and spirituality and all that stuff, right? Where the haunting comes from isn't necessarily from the house. It's from somewhere else.
Our take on the haunted house film was to not make a haunted house film.
But what is your attraction to the horror genre? Or you might say, some people say the mysticism or the occult.
Right.
What's the fascination?
I think for Leigh and myself, it's like comedy, right? What do we like going to see comedy? Because we love to laugh, and the reaction, the immediate reaction is very. What do you usually say? It's very.
Well, it's an instant gut reaction. You know, when you're laughing and screaming are like flip sides of the same coin.
Exactly, and for us with horror, it's basically that. You know, like if you're watching the movie and if an audience gasps or scream or shift in their seat, you know, you can immediately see they're responding to the film, and you can tell if the film's working or not. And that sense is very gratifying. You know,
I think it's hard to deconstruct why you're attracted to something. It's like trying to articulate or deconstruct why you like a particular song. It's impossible to write down. There's something about that song that just appeals to your ears and your brain, and I think that's how we are with horror. There's just something about that genre and the darkness of it and the sort of the visceral thrill of being scared that draws us in.
Into Dalton's room. There was something in there with him.
I guess you mates have been together since your royal MIT days, and for some people don't think MIT means the one in Boston, but it's the... How did you know...
We know each other's strengths and we know each other's weaknesses. I mean, when we started off mucking around together making short films, you know, James would usually direct, I would write, and then I would act in the piece. And so we sort of had these designated roles that, of course, when you're making short films with no money, just mucking around, there's no tension. You're not actually aiming for it to be this huge thing. Yeah, you're making it purely for the love of it. That's why short films are so important for emerging filmmakers, is because that's where you can make all your mistakes. And it's also where you're doing something purely for the passion. There's not a commercial imperative. And James and I spent a lot of time in those trenches. We made a lot of things that had no commercial imperative.
And where we made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, we made all our mistakes. We came up with some crazy ideas, but through doing that, you develop a relationship and a shorthand. And so by the time we actually got to the part where somebody was standing next to us tapping their watch saying, hey, we need to be finished these shots by today, and then there was a film to come out and there's people demanding things of it, you've put the work in. You've put a good foundation in, you know.
Great, I really appreciate that. So this is Rami Mori-Yamin. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
It's not the house that's haunted. It's your son.